Hey guys, it's Mariska from Design by Mariska, and I just finished this amazing chocolate tasting. Today I would like to share with you a glimpse of my experience at a very sweet place in Paarl, South Africa, the home of South Africa's first bean-to-bar chocolate factory. As you walk through the doors, the aroma of chocolate intrigue your senses. There were chocolate everywhere, and I loved it. Not only can you purchase these yummy goodies at their store, but they also offer two different chocolate tastings, a single origin tasting as well as a chocolate and confectionery tasting. It was such a hard choice, so I decided to do both. I found the single origin tasting interesting as their friendly staff member Melissa explained every single step of the labor-intensive chocolate process from the bean to the bar. There's so much more to DV's chocolate than the chocolate aromas in the store. Every single bar of chocolate starts with the selection of a good quality bean. Their chocolate maker and owner, Peter de Villiers, does an amazing job in selecting the beans from all over the world and visits the farmers regularly to ensure they receive only the best quality beans. All of their raw cocoa beans imported from 6 different regions and their single origin chocolate named after these regions. I was given 2 different beans to smell and tasted the nibs of each as well. The nibs had a rather bitter taste to them. They were very different from one another. This is due to the different growing conditions, climate, soil, and tree varieties from the different regions. Once the bean was cracked open, you could smell the chocolate aromas. Melissa showed me images of the cocoa tree, its fruit, and the process. Once the pods are carefully removed from the tree, it is cut open by hand and the beans removed. At this stage, the beans are covered with a white edible flesh that tastes similar to mango or lychee. The flesh is kept on the beans to complete the fermentation process that can take between 2 and 6 days. The beans do not taste or smell anything like chocolate yet. The white flesh acts as a natural yeast and turns it into alcohol. After the completion of the fermentation period, the beans are sun-dried completely for 2 to 3 weeks before packaged in a large Hessian bag, labeled and then shipped. Once these bags arrive at DV Chocolates, it's roasted, the nibs separated from the husk, and the nibs are grounded for 2 to 3 days to a smooth liquor. All of their single origin chocolates are made from 70% cocoa and 30% cane sugar. After the grinding process, the chocolate is molded, and once set, it is removed from the molds and set aside in containers to age for 2 to 4 weeks before being packaged. The first chocolate I tasted was half a block of the Uganda, their least bitter single origin chocolate. As my palate developed through tasting the rest of the single origin chocolates, the last half of the Ugandan tasted a lot sweeter than before. During the tasting, we looked at a chart with all the different flavors you might experience when eating a particular chocolate. The flavors could vary from day to day, depending on the weather, time of day, if it's paired with something else, as well as your mood. All their single origin chocolates packaging has got their chocolate maker's note where he identified the flavors he tasted. After one successful tasting and a lot of chocolate knowledge, it was off to the chocolate and confectionery tasting. The tasting is more casual as you walk at your own pace around the counter, tasting all the varieties. The flavor combinations were fascinating. from their blonde chocolate to their peanut butter chocolate nougat. The staff had a great amount of knowledge about every single product and made the experience that much more enjoyable. One of the things that stood out for me was the packaging of their chocolates. Each of their ranges had a different theme. The single origin looks like a map of the origin of the beans. African art inspires the African collection. The packaging printed from artwork seen throughout their shop and tasting rooms. Their variation collection packaging, it was inspired by the flavors of each bar. After 2 great tastings, I headed back to the shop where they had a glass counter full of fresh handmade truffles. All around the shop, their variety of products were neatly displayed. Among these products are tasting packs of their 3 collections that would allow you to have your own tasting in the comfort of your home. They also sell Hessian bags made from their recycled bean bags. The staff's uniforms are also made from these bags. They have been at their current location for more than 4 years and recently moved a big part of their manufacturing to a nearby warehouse, as well as opened a cafe in Franschhoek. You would also be able to find their chocolate on shelves at selective Woolworths outlets in South Africa. They have come a long way from making chocolate as a hobby in their garage using recycled and modified machines to where they are today. I had such a great time visiting DV Chocolate and recommend their chocolates anytime. They get without a doubt the DVM, the lash of approval.